So like, it was like third or fourth date with Carly. We went up to Winter Wonderland and we got on a train, and I was sort of captivated. I just wanted to know everything about her. I was like asking her like loads of questions, like a weird little kid. And I said to her, like, is there anywhere you'd like to go that you've never been? And she said, swim with dolphins. And I thought, fuck that, I can't swim, right? So I just sat there with my arm, right, is there anywhere else? And she said, I'd love to go to New York. So that day, like, is 5 years ago now, I made a little promise to myself that I'd take her to New York and I'd propose. So the 4 years came in between, and it's been all right laugh, hasn't it? Like, it's been all right. And like, we share like very similar like morals, and like we think the same things about things, which is quite rare again if like you're me and like she's her. So I booked the flight. I thought I'll go around and see Jim, because if he says I can't do it, obviously I wouldn't do it. Well done, Jim. But I went round and I said, Jim, I'm going to propose to Carly, is that all right? And fortunately he said yes, and we set about going to New York. Now, we got there like this time last year, and I made a bit of an error. I bought really cheap trainers from Primark, and after like the first 2 days, like my feet were in tatters. I was blood and blisters and everything. And Carly, being Carly, was like, let's just buy you some new socks or some new trainers or a new foot or like just anything just to like try and fix it. And I was like, no, fine. I've got an engagement ring to buy in a couple of days, I'm fine. So we carried on, like hobbling around New York, and the day came where I thought, I'm going to propose. So I took her to Grand Central Station. I was like, look, you come here and you stand there, and in a minute you'll be able to hear me. And she looked at me like, the look that I get all the time, like I'm just a weirdo and she doesn't actually know what I'm saying to her. And she was like, okay then. So I left her over that end of the room and I went over the other end. And you had to time it right in this place in New York, because it's still like a train station. So if you get there at 9, it's just full of commuters. Get there after 12:30, it's just full of people literally whispering into walls, like loads of Chinese people literally playing Chinese whispers. And we got there about 10:30, and I was like, right, you stand here, I'm gonna go over here. So I walked over and I left her there, and she's looking at me like I'm a weirdo, and I've sort of hobbled over. And I said, can you hear me? And she said, yeah. And I said, can you definitely hear me? And she said, yeah. Do you want to get married? And then she said that word that like 4 years ago I'd made a promise that to myself that I was going to propose. And she said, what? So now I said, you said you could hear me. And she said, what did you say, in her best teacher voice? So I said, do you want to get married? And she said, can you just come and talk to me, please? So she never did say yes. I don't know what we're doing here. But fortunately, we went away and we found the ring that she liked. It was being made. We went to a little Irish bar and we sat there, and she was FaceTiming Jim and Bev, and she was all excited. She sat there smiling. She's got this like little dimply face and Chinese eyes when she smiles. Like when she smiles well loads. And she was like FaceTiming, and I was sat there and biting a Guinness about 11:30 in the morning, and I made myself another promise. And I've never said this to anyone, but I sat there and I looked at her and I thought, this is amazing. Everybody in the room who knows Carly or has met Carly already knows she's perfect and kind and funny and married. So it's quite good because she's married to me.
Do it all, everything on our own. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? I don't quite know how to say how I feel. Those three words are said too much. They're not enough. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. Let's waste time chasing cars around our heads. I need your grace to remind me to find my own. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. All that I am, all that I ever was, is here in your perfect eyes. They're all I can see. I don't know where, confused about how as well. Just know that these things will never change for us at all. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Let's waste time chasing cars around our heads. I need your grace to remind me to find my own. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. All that I am, all that I ever was, is here in your perfect eyes. They're all I can see. I don't know where, confused about how as well. Just know that these things will never change for us at all. If I lay here, I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. All that I am, all that I ever was, is here in your perfect eyes. They're all I can see. I don't know where, confused about how as well. Just know that these things will never change for us at all. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world?